Natural Bridge State Resort Park is located in Powell and Wolfe counties along the middle fork of the Red River and surrounded by the Daniel Boone National Forest. Its namesake, Natural Bridge, is a natural sandstone arch that spans 78 feet and is 65 feet high. The natural process of weathering formed the arch many years ago, and the park is approximately 2,300 acres. Natural Bridge is one of our favorite spots to hike. We usually hike there every year, but unfortunately my knee has not allowed me to this year. Natural Bridge is such a beautiful place. We always take our backpacks with any supplies we would need on our hike. Many hikers every year get too close to the edge on the trails and fall to their death or have to be rescued. So please, if you go on a hike here, use extreme caution. Natural Bridge has several unique sandstone rock formations, including the Balanced Rock. This is a huge block of sandstone balanced on the edge of a cliff near the National Bridge. The Balanced Rock is located on trail number 2, not far above the Hemlock Lodge. In the early days of the park, it was called the Sphinx because when viewed from the correct angle, it resembled the Sphinx in Egypt. Our favorite trail is the Natural Bridge Trail. Once you reach the bridge, you have to go through a section at the bottom called Fat Man Squeeze to be able to get to the top of the bridge. We were able to walk through with our packs on, but our shoulders were touching each side. Each time I go through this section, I often wonder if anyone has ever gotten stuck. It would definitely be horrible for sure. Once you reach the top of the bridge, you can walk across it and go on to other trails. But keep in mind, there are no handrails, so please stay back from the edge and hold on to your children. At this point, you're probably wondering, what about the lady in purple? Well, Natural Bridge State Resort Park in Kentucky was established as a Kentucky State Park in 1926, but was a tourist destination long before then. Originally founded as a tourist attraction by the Lexington Eastern Railroad in 1895. The original trail was built to bring guests from the Hemlock Lodge to see the arch when the park opened as a private tourist attraction at the Hemlock Lodge. The Hemlock Lodge itself is construction on the site of an old train depot used to haul timber out of the Red River Gorge to the main rail line in the town of Campton. Many of the area's trails, including the Whitman Arch Trail, got its start as a narrow gauge rail line used to service the region's logging boom. The only way you could get to the Natural Bridge was by train at that time. All of the original hiking trails were built by the railroad. Daniel Boone first passed through this area in 1767 and a settlement began shortly after. Saltpeter used in the manufacture of gunpowder was mined extensively here for use in the War of 1812. A large portion of Powell and Wolfe counties were purchased by timber railroad companies in the late 1800s. So that brings me to Hemlock Lodge. Hemlock Lodge employees and guests have told many accounts of seeing the Purple Lady for many years. Some claim around 3 a.m. she is seen entering the front door wearing a long purple evening gown with her hair pulled up into a bun on top of her head. She walks by the front desk and proceeds to the couch in the lounge area. Sits down, doesn't speak or move, but when you ask, "Can I help you?" she turns, smiles at you, and disappears. The kitchen staff have claimed the Purple Lady was seen outside on the patio dance floor walking in a circle in the middle of the snow in the winter. It was very cold and they noticed the lady didn't have a coat on. They called the park ranger and when he went to check it out, on the dance floor there were footprints in a circle, revealing someone had been there. What was really found odd was there were no footsteps leading into the circle or away from it. Others staying at the campground have reported a woman in purple standing on the side of the road at night with her shoes in her hand. A local to the area said he had heard stories of the Purple Lady as well. He heard a murder had happened on the campground property Supposedly, a young woman was killed in a cabin and the murderer was never found. Years later, the cabin burned down and the property then became the Whitman Campground next to the Hemlock Lodge. Campers have made numerous reports of a woman appearing to be lost and walking around the campground in a long purple gown. When the park rangers go to check it out, she is gone. Employees of the nature store have seen her walking back and forth on the path of the railroad tracks as if she was waiting for someone to arrive. The old rock tunnel and train tracks runs under the Hemlock Lodge. The nature store employees said just outside the doors of the store was where the train tracks used to lay. The mystery of the Purple Lady remains. Some think she came with one of the railroad excursions, waiting to meet the lover that never came. Others think she might be connected to the cabin murder. But one thing is for sure, wherever she is seen, she is always wearing the purple gown and her hair in a bun. Natural Bridge is such a beautiful and peaceful place that who knows, maybe this is one of the reasons the Purple Lady finds it so hard to leave. Until next time, guys, let's see what's out there.